Rob Pelinka had cap space, a franchise superstar, and one job: build a roster that could compete in the toughest conference in basketball. What he did with that opportunity is already raising serious questions before a single game has been played. Because when you look closely at the three players Pelinka chose to sign this offseason, a very familiar and very dangerous pattern emerges. One that Lakers fans have watched sink this franchise over and over again. The Los Angeles Lakers used their cap space to add 4 players, and the 3 Rob Pelinka wanted to share a common profile that could sink this first roster build around Luka Doncic. Let's start with what actually happened this offseason, because the full picture matters. When the Lakers acquired Luka Doncic in 2025, they made a clear declaration: this is their guy, their era, their future. Building around a generational playmaker sounds straightforward, but it requires ruthless, intelligent roster construction. Instead, the Lakers lost 8 players from last year's roster in a dramatic retool around number 77. LeBron James was the most headline-grabbing departure, but the list doesn't stop there. Rui Hachimura, Marcus Smart, Luke Kennard, and Jackson Hayes all walked out the door in free agency. What did the Lakers get back in return for these talented players? Almost nothing. Pelinka's choice to let LeBron, Rui Hachimura, Marcus Smart, Luke Kennard, and Jackson Hayes depart in free agency was baffling. The only real asset recouped came through the DeAndre Ayton trade, just 2 second-round draft picks. Across 6 departing players, that is an embarrassingly thin return. Draft capital accumulates. 2 second-rounders across that many roster spots is not a foundation, it's a footnote. So the Lakers cleared the decks. Now the question was whether Pelinka would spend wisely. To his credit, Pelinka did get one thing right. The superstar wanted Walker Kessler, and the team paid handsomely because of it. Kessler is a legitimate defensive anchor, a rim protector who addresses a real need. Luka asked for him, and the front office delivered. That part of the offseason earns a passing grade. Everything else is where the conversation gets complicated. With the remaining cap space, Pelinka used it to sign Quentin Grimes, Colin Sexton, and Sandro Mamukelashvili. They are 3 undersized score-first players for their positions. Read that sentence again, because it is the core of this entire problem. 3 players, same profile, same weakness, signed by the same general manager who has made this exact mistake repeatedly. Quentin Grimes is an undersized shooting guard who has been benched in previous situations for taking over the offense at the wrong moments. Colin Sexton is a guard known for his ball dominance, a player who thrives when the offense runs through him. Sandro Mamukelashvili is a forward who other franchises were comfortable keeping on the bench, now being handed an expanded role in Los Angeles. All 3 brought in to play around a ball-dominant superstar in Luka Doncic. Here is where context becomes critical, because fans know Pelinka loves scorers, and it could ruin this build, and that is not speculation. That is history. Look at last season alone. The general manager signed Kobe Buffkin, Drew Timme, and Nick Smith Jr. during last season. All 3 are undersized score-first options, and none of them worked out. Not one. They came, they failed to fit, and they were gone. Before that, look at the draft. He has drafted a pair of 6'5" score-first wings in the first round before 2026. Dalton Knecht and Jalen Hood-Schifino both look like busts. 2 first-round picks. Same profile. Neither developing into the contributor the Lakers needed. Go back even further. Pelinka signed Spencer Dinwiddie, D'Angelo Russell, and Dennis Schroeder in years past. He loves scorers, and every time it ends in disaster. This is not a coincidence. This is a philosophy, and it is a flawed one. Every time Pelinka identifies a player he likes, the scouting report reads the same way. Can score, undersized for their position, limited defensive impact. Pelinka went back to it this offseason with his 3 signings. He has had every opportunity to learn from these mistakes. Instead, the 2026 offseason looks like a carbon copy of every offseason before it. Now let's talk about why this profile specifically doesn't work next to Luka Doncic. Luka is one of the most ball-dominant players in the history of the NBA. He controls the offense, he runs pick and rolls, orchestrates half-court sets, and demands the rock in his hands during crunch time. That is his value. That is why the Lakers traded for him. Next to Luka, the supporting cast has one job description: space the floor, sink open looks, and attack closeouts. The Lakers want Luka and Austin Reeves to be the primary scorers and creators. That means the 3 newcomers have to accept lesser roles. This is the tension. Grimes, Mamu, and Sexton have been relegated to bench roles in the past because they like to take over the offense a bit too much. These are not natural off-ball players. These are players who have built their careers being the focal point, or at least a significant option in their team's offensive system. Asking them to shrink that role dramatically is a significant ask, and there is zero guarantee any of them can do it consistently. There is only one ball. Grimes, Sexton, and Mamu need to space the floor, sink open looks, and attack closeouts. They should be getting the defense rotating and not solely look to score. The moment one of them starts hunting their own shot at the wrong time, it disrupts the rhythm Luka needs to operate at his best. Role clarity isn't a nice-to-have, it is non-negotiable when you are building around a player of Luka's offensive style. Pelinka loves those types of players, but they don't impact winning, and the evidence backs that up entirely. While the Lakers are signing undersized scorers, the rest of the Western Conference is playing an entirely different game. The Oklahoma City Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs are currently dominating the West. Their formula is not built on isolation scorers or ball-dominant guards. It is built on size and defense, two pillars that Pelinka's three signings address in almost no meaningful way. He hopes they provide versatility and shot creation around Luka, but the general manager ignored size and defense, the two of the three things the Spurs and Thunder are using to dominate the West. The Lakers are now attempting to compete with a roster that prioritizes shot creation and offensive versatility, while the conference leaders are winning with physical dominance and defensive identity. The gap between what the best teams are doing and what the Lakers have built is real, and it cannot be papered over by hoping Luka is good enough to carry the load. Beyond the roster fit concerns, there is a financial reality that makes this situation even more precarious. Pelinka foolishly made a mistake in almost every offseason move. He gave out 4-year contracts to Grimes and Mamukelashvili. 4 years. To players other teams used off the bench. Players whose fit next to Luka Doncic is entirely unproven. Sexton has a player option for the 2027-28 season. So the Lakers are not just taking a 1-year gamble to see if this works, they are committed, financially and structurally, to this trio for the foreseeable future. Those were unnecessary for role players that the Lakers don't know fit next to Luka Doncic. If Grimes, Sexton, and Mamu fail to adapt their games, the Lakers will not be able to easily pivot. They will be locked in. And in a conference where the margin for error is razor thin, that inflexibility could be devastating. The Lakers only have 3 guaranteed starters. They used their cap space on players other teams used off the bench for a reason. This could quickly become a problem that sinks this retool. The one factor that keeps this from being a complete write-off is Luka Doncic himself. Luka is a leader capable of getting the best out of his team. History shows that elite playmakers can elevate role players when the system is designed correctly. Luka has done it before, making complementary pieces around him look far better than their URSMs suggest. The Lakers need Luka to get the best out of Grimes, Mamu, and Sexton. Luckily for Pelinka, Luka is no stranger to doing just that. But placing that burden entirely on a superstar's shoulders and using it as justification for questionable roster construction is not a sustainable front office strategy. Hopefully, it happens again, or Pelinka could be looking for work elsewhere. Because if this roster underperforms, the accountability will land squarely where it belongs, on the general manager, who has made the same mistake so many times that it is no longer a mistake. It is a pattern, and patterns, eventually, catch up with you.